Just a quick trend review. Basically, this is just a trend review of the YM, and you basically, you can pick any trend and just review it. The principles keep occurring again and again and again, so why not, right? Anyway, so I'll just go start from here. What we see is you had supply was retested, went down. I can't really tell too much on the activity, but there was a change of behavior here, meaning 123, 12,300 contracts traded. So the obvious, the is very clear that if you have a change of behavior, you get in on the pullback and you get this. Now, when you're trading, you can get big moves, you can get small moves. You don't really know. Um, the idea is that maybe if there's a big base, it's going to have a big move. But there's no such thing that is definitive, because that's reality. So over here, I think this move was a counter trend to test maybe the higher time frame, because the higher time frame the trend is down. So because the higher time frame the trend is down, what do you do? It's not moving too far. So this was buying, this was the pullback, this was the rally, good activity. Then what happened here? Activity just immediately died down and selling pressure came in, and it has follow through. So you have selling pressure, follow through, and the bottom is based off of volume on the smallest waves, and this is slightly bigger waves. But this 144 is dangerous. Alright, this was like saying that the volume here is bigger than the buying volume here, and this is very big, relatively speaking, this big volume. So what is this? Now this may have fooled people because they try to rally after the test, but so are they buying the pullback? Is that what's going on? Well, in my opinion, pullback volume shouldn't be greater than your sign of strength volume. If any pullback volume is greater than the sign of strength or around the sign of strength volume, it's most likely a change of behavior. So that was your tip off that there's something going on. Okay, and it rallied, and here, the selling. There's no doubt. Like over here, you see that it's a complete takeover by supply. After that, you have some tests in this area, and this here showed that the initial rally after the selling didn't really have any demand. Look at this. Look at this down, this up. Um, you know, Imagine this down is followed by this much up volume. There's not a lot, and then it tries to rally, but it's not really going anywhere. And what really broke the market, or the point, in my opinion, the point in which the market went from distribution to markdown, is right here. Right there. You see very clearly that this right there, that's the markdown bar, and it is preceded by a hinge. By a hinge. And there's your LPSY right there in that hinge, and thrust, and follow through, and follow through, and more follow through in terms of the wave. And this is really the end, because you have supply, you have a hinge, you have the markdown bar, and it goes lower on this kind of selling 240. It's actually 2000. I forgot what it was. I think I divided by 100. I don't remember. Anyway, it's a very high number. What was this? Relatively speaking, supply SPLY is in and no demand. And there you go. There's a signal to go short again. You know, when it has fall through and down she goes. Then after that, buyers stepped in with this change of behavior here. This heavy volume coming up. But you have to watch the tests on the pullback because even though this is heavy volume on the way up, like, or the high, big volume over here, you have to just watch the tests because they might spring. A lot of times when you have a change of behavior on the bearish side, there's going to be an upthrust. And sometimes on the bullish side, there's a spring. You know, I think there's more upthrusts on the bearish side than springs on the bullish side. But anyway, so it goes up. You have a change of behavior, meaning heavy volume. Goes this still right now, no demand, no demand, no demand, and then it goes into the spring position. Very slick, They do this, forms a nice wide base of support right here. Not wide base, but I think Wyckoff called it white range of support, wide range or something like that. He just meant that started pull back and test and pull back, pull back, pull back, bunch of tests. That's what he was talking about. All right, so now market rallies and it goes up here, but the key is, the volume here, not the volume, the activity, the speed of the tape dried up. The tape activity is making a lower high. That's not good. Over here, this. Let's see, like right here. It starts going up here. Let me put the average. Switch. See, the activity picks up here. Okay, so this is probably around the end of the down move, and then the activity picks up here, or it's holding around that red line. The activity is going higher. It was in a downtrend activity, but now it started like holding, and then activity went up, made a lower high. At this point I was like, what the hell is going on? Because that was the warning. I was expecting a higher high, but the activity was lower high, and that's why it's like there's something wrong here, because the activity should have picked up, and instead is when it does this, it goes back below the red line over here. Is something wrong. It shouldn't do that. So now it's picking up. This price is going lower. So eventually it spikes around here. This is in the climactic move. Bang. And then it starts picking up again. So I know that this here is the climax. On the downside, the activity spikes. Ding, ding. And all this move is like a final shakeout of this area, because they actually buying on the backside. They're shaking out, but they're just buying. Smart money actually already came in. They're in here in this wave. They're already in. So this is like a spring or a shakeout, and if they're just trying to take price lower in order to buy it lower, and in order to scare people or create fear or whatever. But they're in here. That is, and they weren't able to rally it because price couldn't find the following. It couldn't find the following. All right, so they, take it down, bang. And now over here, price is going up, activity goes up, and now we're in this. So the different variables to look at. I see a lot of people, they say price is king, and it's very one-dimensional type of trading. And if you're able to do that, it's great. But in my opinion, there's a lot of things that are missing if just looking at candles or price bars. Although there's some people, they're able to just trade off of candles and that's fine. But from my understanding, on the Wyckoff understanding, there are different variables that you look at, and observe and judge, and they paint together a picture about um, direction. Okay, because the idea is the market tells you what it's going to do, but in order for you to make that judgment, there's I think 5 variables, and knowing them and how to judge them is important. Uh, anyway, I wonder what's going to happen here. There's no damn activity because it's nighttime, so this is like pointless to look at because, like, how do you judge this? You only have volume, and it's also very low because it's nighttime and Sunday, so there's no point at even looking at this market now. Anyway, I'm done. This video is for my educational purposes only, and serves as some type of online journal for me, and nothing else. Trade at your own risk. Thanks. Bye.